Namaskar, Vanakkam, Pranam, Jai Durga Maiya ki. Today we will talk about the Navratris, which are just round the corner, that time of the year when the whole country, the whole world is in a spirit, in a mood to laugh and to smile and be happy and a general happiness all around. What is it about Devi Durga that makes this period so auspicious, so beautiful? In fact, Durga epitomizes all the powers of Brahma, Vishnu, and Mahesh. So we are possibly the only culture in the world where the mother goddess, the mother form, gets all the power of the creator, the power of the preserver, the power of the destroyer. So what is it that makes this time such an auspicious and joyous time of the year, the time of Navratri? What is the significance of Navratri and Durga?
Jai Ma Durga. Um, the worship of the divine as a mother, as you said, is very unique to our Sanatana Dharma. And Sri Shankaracharya of Kanchipuram says it is one of the easiest ways to connect to the divine to start off with as a mother, because there is more of an unconditional relationship with the very kind mother. Our great guru Sri Adi Shankaracharya initially used to worship only the divine as Parameshwara, and we have the Itihasa wherein the Devi played a Leela that he then realized that without Shakti, Shiva himself is not able to stir. So the worship of the goddess is also as equally important. Durga, the very word itself is a very beautiful name, which means fort. That which forms a fort. Because if you see in Maharashtra, most of the forts are called Durga, like Sindhu Durga, for example. So the goddess forms a fort around us. The very concept of Durga and the worship of the Divine Mother happens around 4 Navratris across the years. 2 of these are Gupta Navratri, meaning they are for the Upasakas and the worship is inward. The other 2 have inward as well as celebrations that can allow all to connect with the goddess however they wish. Through dance, through music, through art, through culture, through prayers. So this Navratri, which is also known as the Sharadiya Navratri, or in the month of Ashwin, the goddess is mainly worshipped as Mahishasuramardini. This Mahisha, the concept of Mahisha that is there in the Durga Saptashati, wherein you have the buffalo Asura taking various forms before being destroyed by the goddess, is more of an inner journey. The Mahishasura represents our own fears, our own ego. Because if you see, it is not easy to kill the ego. When Devi went to destroy Mahishasura, from a buffalo he became a lion, he became an elephant, then he became a Rakshasa, then he again became a buffalo before she was able to literally ride on him and chop off his head, which we see in towards East India. If you see the Pandal, you will see him half man and half buffalo, which is when she does the mardan of him. So this is a very apt time after worshipping our ancestors, where in 9 days we create a fort around ourselves. Once a year, we charge our mobile phones every day. Without that, our phones don't function. So we need to charge our inner strength, which is very much the need of today's hour.
So this is the Sharad Navratri, which is coming up, which is in the month of Ashwin, just after the Amavasya and after the Pitri Paksha, Mahalaya Paksha. The others are the Magh in the winter, the Chaitra in the spring, the Ashad in the monsoon. So what is different? Like you said, 2 of these are Gupt Navratris, when only the Upasakas will do their Upasana. So the 2 that we know generally are the Magh, the Chaitra, right? The Chaitra and the Ashwin month, the Sharad. So what is in the Chaitra and what is in the Sharad? So Chaitra comes sometimes in April, So, what is in the Chaitra and what is in the Ashwin? In the Ashwin month, the Sharad, you already said, it is Devi Durga worshipped as Mahishasur Mardini, that is the control of the inner ego, which comes in the form of a buffalo-shaped demon. So, what is it that we do and how it is different from the one which is in the month of April, which is the spring season?
All these four Navaratris come when there is a seasonal change, when Mother Nature, Prakriti herself is having a transformation. For example, this Sharade Navaratri is during the month of autumn. Though here in Bharat we don't have a very pronounced autumn compared to other countries, but the transition yet remains. That is, we are transitioning into a future winter. The Chaitra Navaratri is a transition into summer. And any transition, if you see, is a challenge. Because as a doctor, most patients come to you when the weather is changing. Because the body has some issues when the weather changes. So our ancestors and rishis have very beautifully molded these nature transformative times, because what is outside is what is inside, and what is inside is what is outside. So when there is a transition, automatically our awareness is more. So if we zero in on these times and worship the divine, we can handle ourselves for the weather changes that are happening in our karma also, so that we can remain healthy, not only physically, but also mentally and spiritually, so that we can do our dharma.
So we see that Navaratri is a festival which is celebrated in different parts of the country in different forms, but the upasak part, the upasana part would remain the same. Like we will talk about the different external forms that Navaratri celebration takes in different parts of the country, but in general the upasana form. Now we will talk about the Upasana form. How is the worship done? How does it, what does it signify? What does it bring to the person who is worshipping or meditating or immersing himself or herself into the memory of Goddess Durga and welcoming Goddess Durga in your own life? So how is this worship done over the 9 days of the Navratri period from the Upasak perspective?
Uh, Many cultures have a murti of Ma Durga. Towards the east part, she is welcomed home as a concept of, from her husband Shiva Kailasha, she comes with her children. So it's more like you are welcoming your daughter. So if you see here, apart from a mother goddess, she becomes our own daughter. So she is pampered for the certain days of Navratri, and then the Visarjan is done, and she is sent back to Kailash, because it is the rule of nature that everything is temporary. So this is subtly taught to all of us, that she will have to go back to Shiva to do her role as a wife. And apart from murtis, you have the establishment of steps and idols towards the south of India. In other parts of the country, people worship a ghat, wherein a pot is kept and seeds are planted and plants are grown, again connected with fertility. Because unless the Divine Mother is not present in the form of fertility, we won't have anything to eat. So, apart from these external practices of the murti or the ghat, people light an akhand lamp, a lamp that is constantly burning from the day of Pratipada to Vijayadashami. Because we all know tamasoma jyotirgamaya. The moment you light a lamp, you have darkness being driven away. And you have the reading of various stotras. Certain common stotras include the Chandi part or the Durga Saptashati, also known as the Devi Mahatmyam. 700 verses telling how the Devi destroyed various asuras. So she will help us conquer the asuras within us and around us. There is also the reading of the Lalita Sahasranamam. There is also the reading of the Durga Sahasranamam and various other shlokas that may be taught. If shlokas are not familiar, we can do chanting of Jai Mata Di, whatever mantra the Guru teaches us. In some parts, there is dancing and singing towards the evening for the goddess. So while the worship of Shiva in Shivaratri is all about meditation, because he is the Shiva Tattva, the potential energy, we have his Shakti being celebrated in dynamic forms, because she is, after all, our heart beats because of her. So through these various forms, we connect to her and establish a strong connect over 9 days and emerge victorious on Vijayadashami as a new leaf.
So the interesting thing is that we have in the Sanatan or the Bharatiya tradition, we have a relationship with the divine which is unique. The divine can become our child at one moment, our equal, our friend at another moment, and our superior, our guru, our father figure, our mother figure at another moment. So we welcome the Devi on the first day as our own daughter coming back home. So this is the Shailaputri, the daughter form, the Shailaputri. And then the next Dvitiya, we have the Brahmacharini Puja. So we have the different forms of Durga that we worship on different days. So indicating that we have a connection with the divine at different levels, not just the level of where the divine decides what is good and what is bad, and whether you are doing a sin or whether you're doing a good thing, and whether you'll go to heaven or hell. No, we're just friends with the divine. So like Shailaputri is the daughter, and then there's the Brahmacharini. Third day, we have the Kushmanda, and then the Skanda Mata, then Katyayani, then Kalaratri, Mahagauri, Siddhidhatri. And this is how, and ultimately the Durga Visarjan, when Durga returns back to the Kailash Parvat. So would you like to say in brief something about the different forms of the different 9 days, how it transforms from day 1 to 2 to 3 to 4 as we continue with the puja?
So, as you very beautifully said, the divine here assumes roles that we can connect to. So, the first role is as a daughter of the mountains. So, we pamper her as a daughter. Then she transforms to a wife. So, she undergoes tapasya as brahmacharini to wed Shiva. This journey of Parvati being born to the mountains, the spirit of the mountains. In other words, you're talking about nature. Doing tapasya to wed that Parabrahma Tattva which is known as Shiva is our own journey that we all have to undertake. And later she assumes the role of a mother as Skanda Mata, as the mother of Skanda. Kushmanda, she becomes a pumpkin shaped, and today we know the cosmos itself is shaped like that. And again, the pumpkin is associated with fertility. She also becomes Kalaratri, wherein night is very scary for some people. But if you see, night is not the absence of light. The Surya Bhagavan is very much there. It is because of our rotation that we feel it is dark. But this very night is the time of repair, wherein our cells undergo repair and our mind also undergoes repair when we sleep. So Kalaratri is that very Ugra form of Devi, where she destroys all our insecurities. So ultimately, you come to Mahagauri and Siddhidatri. So your journey from, insecurity. By nature, we as animals are insecure. And Durga, over the 9 days, transforms us from insecurity to within security. So that we can be safe that we are in the lap of the Divine Mother, and with all the Siddhidatris, the blessings that she bestows, we can handle ourselves till the next year when we invite her again and go through this cycle again and again.
So every daughter, every sister, every wife, every mother, every neighbor is the Durga, the loving, the blessing, and the benevolent Durga. And we pray to Durga to bring peace, prosperity, joy, and happiness to the whole universe. For now, namaskar, pranam, vanakkam. Thank you very much for this detailed explanation.